Hello, fellow duelists and collectors. Today I'm going to be showing you my water/ice barrier deck. It's just a random set of cards that were good that I thought that are mostly consisting of water and ice barrier cards. First, 2 medium of the ice barrier for the special summon if your opponent has 4 or more cards, which in this format generally happens. Second, 2 Abyss Warrior because he's got a really good effect to slow your opponent down by returning a card at the top of their deck. 2 Abyss Soldier because he's got just a pretty decent effect for destroying a card. 1 Daisojo because the preventative spell and trap destruction effect is very, very helpful. 2 Strategist because I only had 2. I would highly recommend 3 for the draw power. It's very good for ice barriers and essential for ice barriers. 2 Sacred Spirit because mainly for the effect that can return an opponent's card to their hand monster. But yeah. 1 Pilgrim just for stall power, just because it can't be destroyed by 1900 or more, so that's good. 1 Cauterus because it, for the effect of getting rid of 2 cards with the sacrifice of Yumi can generally be worth it. 1 Mother Grizzly, that's pretty much a filler card, but can be useful because some strategies rely on drawing from the deck and thinning it out and using this effect for that, but that's generally a slower style of play. 2 Aorca, because although you have to banish to get rid of a card, it is definitely, I think, worth it, and for certain styles of play worth it. And in my style of play, I consider it worth it, so I use it. 1 Spine Gilman, because he gives the attack boost, which I think is good, but not absolutely essential, but definitely worth considering for just a spare card, basically, a filler card, if you will. Chromancer is just like a stalemate card that is a tuner. So you basically can choose when to use it or lose it, but also it inhibits 4 higher monsters, which is most monsters in the format. And since Legendary Ocean reduces all your monsters, that's very beneficial. 3 Chromancer, sorry, actually I forgot what its effect was. Oh yeah, okay, so you use it to declare an attribute which can't be used against it, which is just definitely really good. And then 1 Defender because, he just stops your opponent from attacking, so that's also really good. And there's a lot of stalemate prevention in this deck because there's not as much offense, but there is enough offense to the point that you can make things happen. Like Aquajet. Aquajet helps out a ton for offense because the 1,000 point boost is permanent and can be very helpful, especially in tight spots. I use 2 Legendary Ocean because I don't have 3, but I would definitely recommend 3. And it is essential, I think, for a lot of water decks these days. Sorry. I use Salvage and Surface. Salvage is obviously better, but I recommend having both in your deck. Mirror the Ice Barrier is definitely good and isn't actually essential for ice barriers, even though it seems like it, but the fact that it's a quick play can be very helpful. Moray of Greed's kind of a dicey card because you're choosing between getting rid of potentially vital cards in your hand, but also is a very specific circumstance. Having 2 water monsters in your hand isn't always going to happen, so this could be a dead draw, so it's best to be careful with using more than one of those. Water Hazard because this is a slower style of play deck, so you generally need something like this to be able to boost your speed of monster summoning and whatnot. And then Burden of the Mighty, just to inhibit your opponent's monster's attack power, since they're not benefiting from the level reduction of Legendary Ocean, they're generally being hurt, so it's another way of using the levels in your advantage. Monster Gate's just a staple to bring out a monster, and like every monster in this deck can be normal summoned, so it's definitely good to use for this. Reload because oftentimes you will not get the hand you actually need, so it's good as a backup and can be used to just get rid of or scare your opponent. Double Cyclone's actually just a filler card. You could replace it with like MST, but it can also be helpful to get rid of the continuous trap cards or spells that are no longer useful, with also damaging your opponent. Forgotten Temple of the Deep is fairly essential and is a replacement for Yumi in the deck, or Legendary Ocean rather. Tornado Wall, definitely helpful with Yumi, but in today's format, not very highly recommended, but I still think it's a good card, so I'd consider using it if you don't have a lot else to work with. And then the Aegis of the Ocean Dragon Lord is it's a good trap, honestly, I would recommend it, but it's not really essential. And then for the extra deck, We use 3 Mistar Boys because we have 3 Mistar Boys, and I think that in this format you kind of just want to have as much summon capacity as possible, so it's good. Not really essential, but good. Then we have X-Saber Urbellum, the Tempest Magician, and Flamvellor Quizis. These are essentially staples for all intents and purposes, and you could substitute them for pretty much anything. So don't feel too dead set on these, but they are helpful just in a general sense. And then Grenosaurus, which is another staple. But then we also have Submersible Carrier Arrow Shark and Mermail Abystrite. And Mermail Abystrite is not that like essential. Helpful, but not essential. And I don't have like Abyss Dweller or the best Ixies for this deck, because these, I actually gave those to a buddy of mine. But these are also good cards to have. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like. And if you want to see more like this, subscribe. Thank you.